What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out Stoneshard. They just released their City of Gold update, which is a pretty beefy update that, adds a lot of map space and a lot of tiles and a lot of things that are laid out. If you don't know about Stoneshard, this game is effectively very closely a hybrid of old-school RPGs and roguelikes. This is a very, very difficult RPG. This is an RPG that's meant to be cruel, it's meant to be mean, it's a game that's got survival elements, you gotta eat, you gotta drink, your body has different damage zones from your torso to your arms to your legs, you've gotta bandage them and heal them individually if you take damage. The one thing that I would have to say at the beginning of this video, though, is this game develops pretty slowly, so you might be signing on for a reasonable wait on content, but it does tend to be, high quality whenever they put out that update, and so anyways, they did just push out a beefy update, and so we're going to dive on in today. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to see if this is the sort of thing that you want to add to your wish list or pass on. If after watching this you did indeed want to get the game for yourself, I have a link for you down below in the description. You can check that out. I'll also have a link to my Discord and my Twitch stream. I'll more than likely be streaming this on the day that it goes live, just so we can get a little bit further on in. Just in case the 30 minutes is not enough for you to appraise whether or not you wanted to jump into this project. That's really the warning that I would give at the beginning of the video, though, is that, this game has taken, a really, really, really long time to push out updates, past kind of, the projected release targets and everything else like that. So keep that in mind when you are appraising your purchase. I do think that, most of the things here are very high quality, and they are very, very well done. The developers strike me as kind of being perfectionists, and I'm guessing that's probably what's getting in the way of kind of, content drops on top of that, global pandemics and whatnot. But anyways, we're going to continue with a character that I made a little bit earlier, just to, feel out the game so that we can skip the intro portion. So anyways, here we are in the context of the game. This is what everything looks like. You can cook on the fire, you can talk to all these people, you can pick stuff up. They did just add a morality system to the game, so be careful about, randomly picking up objects. In previous builds of the game, you could, take anything that you wanted and nobody seemed to care. Now there's a bounty system where you can actually become, an outlaw and get into trouble for that, so, just watch out. As of right now, I have chosen the Spearman, the Revenger, as my character. This is a new guy, I think? I'm not super sure if this is a new guy, actually. It's been so long since I played last. It's been a good year and a half, 2 years. But anyways, there's a couple of pre-built characters that you can choose from as of right now. There is going to be the option to create a custom character from scratch when the game comes out in its final version. But as of right now, you've got a choice between Velmir, who's a Revenger, which is kind of like a ranger as far as I can understand it. You can take a dual-wielding kind of berserker guy. You can take a person that's effectively like a hedge knight, so they're just a knight that has no lands or territories, they're just roaming the land. And then I think there's a pyromancer as well, are the characters that you can pick from. So anyways, let's get on out of here. We got stuff to do. I should probably equip some equipment first. This is one of those games that can take you out, very, very easily. If you're wondering what class of kind of game this is, at least RPG, it's entirely possible in this game to walk out of the front door of town, have there be a bear or 3 wolves there, and just summarily die instantaneously. That's what I mean when I was talking about earlier, the game is kind of almost roguelike influenced. But let's head on out. What I like to do in the beginning of the game is I like to just hunt a little bit, because at our current level of proficiency, there's very, very little chance that we're going to be able to survive any real quests. We are a mercenary. We are here looking for work to start up a mercenary company and basically finance sort of like a regiment of mercenaries. That is the ultimate goal of the game. But as of right now, we're all alone. We have very little money. We have almost no skills. We are the first guy that the mercenary company has recruited to be a part of sort of their efforts, or the caravan company. And so anyways, we'll want to be careful about that. We do have some skill points to spend. This guy starts out with a spear. I highly recommend taking no retreat. Basically, if you stay on a tile and you don't move in combat, you just get a 4-time stacking block, crit, and cooldown reduction. This is just flatly amazing, and I would recommend anybody with a spear take it, because it'll bump you up to about 30% block chance and about, about 13-14% crit by the time you get done with it. And so anyways, it's pretty good. The other thing we could potentially do is we could take a look at ranged weapons here. We do have a crossbow. And so I feel like that's a pretty solid idea. We've got taking aim. It costs 7 energy, and it's got a 1 cooldown. But it does give us a lot more accuracy. We've also got constant practice. Makes the distance penalty to accuracy 2 times less impactful from -2 to -1. We've got thrift. Makes bolts and arrows break less often. And then we also have distracting shot. I'm going to go for the accuracy increasing shot. It feels like a solid play to me. And then we'll just move that around on our hotbar. We do have skinning. That's now separated. Last time I played the game, when you killed something, it just dropped its skin on the ground as loot. Now you've actually got to sit and, like, skin it. And I do think that that's quite a bit more immersive. It's one of those features that I think was a good, easy implementation, basically, in order to sort of... Ooh, there's a wolf over here. There's just the one, though. I think we'll be okay. Well, that other one's possibly on us. I just don't want to pull 2 wolves in, if I can help it. Okay, 1 bolt fired and we missed. There we go. We got him with that one. Swap to the spear. Because we've been staying on this position for so long, we should be buffed up with lots of block. So we should be able to take him. And down he goes. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to skin him for his... Am I still in combat right now? It's not letting me do the skinning prompt. What's going on here? Target object, animal carcass to get the trophies. It may be because there's still wolves around. But I should be able to skin this guy, but it's not letting me do it. All right, well, never mind. We'll just kind of... Oh, there's 2 of them up there. Okay, I don't want to mess with 2. I'd rather not. I can handle 1, but 2's a little optimistic. There we go. Get him with a shot right there. Reload it. Almost got him with the second shot. He dashed in. He got us with a good hit right there. HP's looking pretty rough. He is running from us. And we got him. Okay, I'm going to step back for just a second. We're going to rest. You may notice that our HP has, like, permanently gone down. It's actually not permanent. It's temporary, but the system that this links into is that inside your character tab right here, we can go to our health menu, and just like Escape from Tarkov, you've got different locations on your body that can be struck by the enemy. And basically, if you have damage to that part, it reduces your max HP. And then on top of that, various body parts will have various other effects as well. Like you'll lose accuracy, you'll lose like movement speed, so on and so forth. I do want my bolt back. I'll take my bolt back for sure. Let's see, where's that last wolf at? He's over here. All right, let's reload this thing. Give us some extra accuracy. There we go. Got some good hits off right there. Reload it. And down he goes. Okay, now we're looking solid. That was a pretty good set of kills right there. That gave us some XP. This is why I like to go hunting in the beginning of the game, is just because it can be a little, like, it can be a little rowdy out here. I have no clue why it's not allowing me to skin right now. When I played the game prior to recording this video, this was lit up, and I was just able to skin stuff. Oh, I get what's happening here. I don't have a knife. So what had happened was, in my test playthrough, I had killed a bandit before I killed the wolves, and so I have a knife in my inventory. And I didn't realize that the knife was linked to the skill. We can run back to town real fast and go to the blacksmith and maybe see if we can pick up like a small like dirk or like boot dagger or something like that, so that we can actively skin some of these kills, because that's a lot of money we're leaving laying on the ground right there. Each of those wolf hides is worth like 100 coins, and so we really kind of want those, because accumulating money and getting some equipment is going to be like the #1 thing you want to do at the beginning of the game. If you're not doing that, you got problems. So we've got a traveler's blade right there. We've got a naval hatchet. Okay, it's a pretty talented belly button. Let's see. I'll probably just take... Man, I don't want to take the sword. It takes up a lot of inventory space. I'll take the naval hatchet as a skinning utility. But if I find a dagger anywhere, we'll repair that and we'll keep it in our inventory. Basically, I'm trying to get skinning utility while taking up as little inventory space as possible, because your inventory in this game is quite limited. As I recall later on, I think you can get stuff that... I don't remember, actually, if it was this game or a different game. I seem to remember this game getting tabs at some point, but maybe I'm mistaken on that one. I don't know. Are the bodies still here? Oh, good. The bodies are still here. All right, let's cut some flesh off this thing. There we go. There's #1. We'll take the pelt. We don't really want the raw sinewy meat. So recently they changed the game around. There's now a morale system in the game, and if you eat food that's like bad for you or that your character inherently doesn't like, you can end up actually like losing morale. And morale is kind of a pain to keep up sometimes. And so anyways, when your morale goes down, you start to lose your sanity. This really is a game that's sort of focusing on, yes, you are a mercenary. Yes, you are a warrior that's about in the territories trying to get things done and take care of business, but your character can very much like develop PTSD and have problems. This is kind of the only game that I've seen do that outside of, the only medieval game anyways, outside of like Battle Brothers, I think, was the only other game where, like, your guys along the playthrough would, like, accumulate scars and, like, mental issues and all kinds of problems that you sort of had to keep an eye on and take care of. I do have 15% hunger and thirst right now. I do think that it'd be a really good idea in terms of, like, the UI and the display of the game to have a hunger and thirst meter around here somewhere. I know from the layout of the UI that they're trying to keep it minimalist, but having to open 2 separate tabs in order to like get to your hunger and thirst, it should be one of those things that even, actually they might not even need to put it on the UI right here, they could just put it in the UI over here so that you can see what your hunger and your thirst is like straight from your inventory, so you know how much to eat and drink. But I do think having a faster access to hunger, thirst, and intoxication, pain, basically take this menu right here and nest it like right down here so that you can see it. So that you know how much food to eat and how much water to drink without having to open separate tabs. Whenever I look at a game, I kind of like to think about it like, how can we minimize clicks here? Like, basically, the more clicks a game has in order to get to, like, baseline functions, the more harshly I'll judge the UI effectively. We are full up on our inventory. I do love the little details in this game, like when you kill stuff and you skin it, there's like the furry version of it laying on the ground, and then after you skin it, there's actually like a skinned version of it. I think that that's a really, really nice little detail right there that they didn't have to add to the game, but does add a little bit of immersive flair. They did. So this game has been controversial in the past because of its saving system, so we'll talk about that right now. Basically, in this game, you only save when you sleep, and you can only sleep, like, in a bed or, like, on a bedroll. So effectively, what that can mean is you can lose a lot of progress in this game while traveling around the map, especially considering some of the quests can be really, really far away. A lot of people really, really hate that system, and I'm going to tell you why I like that system, and I promise that I'm not just fanboying here because I really, really like this game. The way that I like to think about it is I like to think about it in terms of it makes the game so... One of my favorite games is Escape from Tarkov. One of the things that makes Escape from Tarkov so intense and so fun to play is that the game has kind of risk to it. You're not off the map, and you're not out with the loot until you're actually officially out of the map. Somebody can kill you and steal it at any time until you're back in the menu. This game is kind of similar in that regard, where there's a certain intensity to going out, completing a quest, and you can save at most of the quest locations. There's usually like a camp or a bed next to it, but you've got to make the walk back home, which can be very, very risky. Like, travel in this game is quite dangerous. And so anyways, I do think that that feeling of risk sort of adds to the intensity of like, oh my god, am I going to make it back home? Like, I don't know, it works for me on that level. I can see that I can definitely tell that, like, if you're the kind of person that likes to hedge your bets and you're not particularly... You're risk averse, then I could definitely see where that would grind somebody's gears and kind of rub them the wrong way. But for me, I tend to actually think that it lends a certain level of gravitas, or maybe like weight, or like some amount of risk and tension and anxiety to the game that I think adds to the experience. That's just me personally. I would actually be really, really open to them adding like a save anywhere mode that you can just toggle on and toggle off, but apparently with the way the game's coded, that's actually pretty difficult to pull off. Oh, they killed a deer or something over here. There's nothing left to skin, but we did get the fatty meat, so that's good. We can cook that up and maybe eat it for dinner tonight. Yeah, it sounds like a decent... Oh, there's banditos over here. I'm not reloaded. Let's go ahead and fire an arrow at him. There we go. Reload it again. Take a fast shot. Perfect. Oh, he died of bleeding. Very nice. Okay, so we're going to step back, and I'm just going to wait for him to get a little bit closer. Now, the downside to spears in this game is that spears in this game do not allow you to attack 2 tiles. Oh, we critted him, but he got us back. He's trying to, like, line up a stop. Am I allowed to kill him? He's fleeing for his life. Well, he's not going to be fleeing for much anymore. Can I skin him? Let's skin a human. Oh, I can't skin a human, dude. I was going to come back wearing a cowl made out of bald guy. Feels bad. Let's rest it up for a second. But we are getting some pretty good XP right here. Now, back to the save system, which I was talking about prior to our run-in with the banditos. The save system, they have kind of compromised a little bit. You can save and exit at any time, which, as I understand it, with the way the game was coded, was actually kind of difficult to implement. So they did take the time to do that. So just in case you got to take like a bathroom break, or your kid's using a crayon on the wall, you can like stop the game now, and it will save exactly where you're standing until you come back. So I do think that that's a pretty good middle ground right there. This game is free roaming. You can go like wherever you want. If you wanted to take a look at the map size, there's the map as it exists right now in the City of Gold update. So it's pretty large. Every time you transition to a zone, it's going to be one of these little map folds right here. And so there is some stuff to like explore. The game randomly generates quests for you. So eventually they run out of randomly generated quests, but you're supposed to move on to the next town. Now, the big warning here with the City of Gold update is that most of the stuff... So, it's kind of one of those ironic things where I don't even know if it's irony. But anyways, they have added the City of Gold to the game. Like, the City of Bryn, as I recall, is the one that they've been kind of alluding towards during their development process. The map tile is there, but none of the vendors are in yet. Basically, what they did with this update is they expanded the size of the map, they added in all the tiles, and then... in cumulative patches coming after this, they're going to be adding the content to the tiles, or at least fleshing them out, as I understand it. And so, anyways, I think in a lot of ways it wasn't what people were hoping for. Like, I think people were like, yeah, dude, we're getting all this content or whatever. It's been so long. And then I think some people are a little bit disappointed by the fact that, like, yeah, the tiles are in, yeah, the city is in, but, like, none of the content has been kind of, like, populated in those areas. So, anyways, we'll probably cook up the fatty meat for dinner. It looks like it's getting darker right now, so we may want to, like, go to bed. I don't know. We're a little bit hungry. We're a little bit thirsty. I'll go drink from the well. That'll give us our thirst back real fast. There we go. Drink from the well. How much does that restore, drinking from the well? Oh, it 100% restores you. Very nice. Yeah, it does look like it's getting darker. The game does follow a day and a night cycle while you're out and about doing adventures, but if you need to rest, I'm going to go on into the inn right here. We'll go out hunting again tomorrow and see if we can get another level up. Maybe if we can get to level 2, that will allow us to... take on a quest, and I can show you a dungeon, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll cut this video a little bit longer so that you can get a better idea of the game. But there is, like, a lot of stuff to play around with here. We'll go ahead. This is our little inn room right here. You can store stuff inside the inn room just in case you want to. Just in case there's things that you want to throw in there just to free up some inventory space. We do start out with this broken Viking helmet right here, like this broken nasal helm. But we don't have the money to fix it right now. I think every character actually starts out with something broken that's like really, really overpowered and good, but you got to get the money together in order to repair it. That's like one of the sub goals. Like I think the knight starts out with like a busted hauberk, and I think the berserker starts out with like a busted axe or something like that. Like basically everybody starts with a piece of kind of endgame gear in their inventory that's broken, just to sort of spur you onwards and give you kind of a sub target to hit for when it comes to like farming out cash and making your money. We'll go ahead and we will sleep till 7 o'clock. That sounds good. Hopefully our meat doesn't go bad. We have light thirst, we have hunger, but we are vigorous now, which is really, really nice. The longer you sleep, the more vigorous you get. And so it's a good idea to sleep from time to time. For 1,200 moves, we've actually got ourselves a little bit of a bonus, so that'll be good. I'm going to cook up that... oh, he cooked up all of it. You cooked up the mushrooms and everything, too? I didn't even realize you could cook the mushrooms. It's been so long since I played last. I was interested in the meat. How hungry are we right now? Pretty hungry, so let's go ahead and take care of that. We've eaten our meal. That's got us down to 8% hunger. We'll go ahead and eat the penny buns. Did the penny bun not get cooked? There we go. Cook that penny bun. We'll eat that penny bun right there, and then we will be ready to rock. I'll probably eat that guy real fast just to take our thirst down ever so slightly. I'm going to go to a vendor. We're going to sell off these clubs, make a little bit more cash. Oh, we've got a foggy day. That's what it's been looking like where I live for the last couple of weeks. It's just been foggy all day, every day. You can't hardly see the neighbor across the street. We'll go ahead and we will sell the club. They're not going to be worth much money, but something is better than nothing. So we'll take in the 25. Apparently that's the best we're going to get for kind of like scrapping with the bandits. Looks like our armor has taken a little bit of a scuffing. We will more than likely want to get ourselves into like a Godin dog or like some kind of Delois. I don't know. Something better than what we have right now would probably be helpful, but can't really afford it at the moment. 343 gold. Looks like it's going to be like a a 3 damage increase, which in my opinion is actually pretty good. 16-17% increase. Let's go ahead and go back over here, and we will drink some water, get our thirst taken care of. Looks like it's about 20% each time we drink out of there. Yep. Okay, so let's go talk to the village elder. We'll get a quest, and we'll kind of set out. If we don't make it to the quest, that's fine. Be very, very careful in this game. Don't push your luck. You'll die. If you go out and you win a particularly nasty fight and you get like 200 XP and you're kind of beat up, do yourself a favor, don't keep going. Come back to town, sell the loot, repair your gear, save, then go back out. It's one of those things where I've learned to be very, very cautious in this game. So he's got a quest right now to find a captured merchant. Apparently the local merchant Bert went to town for some goods but got ambushed by brigands. He survived, but now they're holding him for ransom. We don't have the money for his return. I need someone to go to Castle Runfrost and make it loud and clear for everybody that we don't negotiate with outlaws. Free the merchant, kill their leader, we will make sure you're properly compensated. Okay, cool. It's pretty easy to find. They mark it on your map so that you can go find it real easy. The map has a river that runs through it, though, so I'd recommend you follow the roads. Don't try to go around, just because there's really only like 1 or 2 river crossings on the entire map, and you can end up on a big, long wandering streak if you try to find like a long way around. That's a little bit of metagame knowledge that like I probably shouldn't throw out there, but like it'll save you time. If you don't, man, it's like a bloodbath outside the village right now. Can you imagine walking into this village, all the dead bodies laying everywhere? Like, God, what's going on in Osbrook, dude? Rough town. I do recommend that you forage while you're kind of like moving around the map, looking for things like raspberries, blueberries, these little chanterelles right here. We actually have these in North America. These are edible in North America. That's a mushroom that I recognize from my survival interest. It's called a chanterelle. And you can just throw it in a pot and boil it up, and it's good to go. You can also eat it raw, and it's a pretty good little mushroom. In general, though, I wouldn't recommend eating mushrooms that you just found on the side of the road. That's a great way to end up dead. Let's go ahead and we'll move on over to the right. I don't know how far we have to go. It looks like we should probably go another 2 tiles to the right, and then we'll cut upwards. We may lose the road right here. I don't remember if it forks or if it... Oh, it keeps going. Okay. That's fine. Let's keep on cruising. Absolutely adore the pixel art in this game. I think it's a very beautiful looking game. It's just fantastic looking. If we end up killing some more stuff and like getting some more hides, I would be, some more chanterelles. We'll grab those real fast. Just kind of staying on the road and watching out. There's a flea wart right there. We got a bandit right there. Let me reload the old crossbow. We missed our second shot. Feels bad. Oh, he's got a homeboy too. Okay. Ooh, we missed our shot. He tried to flail me. Spare you? I don't think I will. You tried to murder me, man. Like, what I like to ask myself in these particular situations, like, I'm not a particularly nasty, vicious, or cruel guy, but, like, what I like to ask myself in situations like this is, if the role was reversed, would they be showing me mercy? That's the way that I prefer to kind of think about it. And if the answer to that question is, like, a no, then, you know, you should accord them the exact same level of mercy that they would have possibly given you. I just feel like that's fair play, you know? They didn't have to go into brigandry. They didn't have to go into shanking people and robbing people on the side of the road to make their daily bread. They decided to do that. And so, like, when you get involved in the game and the game comes knocking, you can't be mad when it has negative consequences. Only 2 ways out of that life, a cage or a box. That's it. Wooden hoodie or a cage. All right, so we'll cut to the right. It looks like we're about lined up right now, but I think I'm going to lose the road under here unless it zigzags upwards. But we are on a pretty good tear at the moment. I actually don't know how hard a bore is. I'm just going to walk away. I feel like this is the kind of game where a bore is going to be a considerable challenge. Is he after me right now? Oh, he is. He's actually after me. Okay, we're going to run from him then. I don't know how tough he is. And so, like, I'd rather not take my chances. I guess we could go right here and see if maybe we can fight him from this spot. Some pretty stiff HP on that guy, actually. That sort of surprised me. Like, it kind of surprised me, but it also kind of didn't. We're going to hang out and rest for a minute. We got a lot of HP missing, and we've got pain at the moment. So our morale is going to start to drain a little bit slowly until we get, like, our pain to go away. There are herbs and things you can find on the side of the road that will make your pain go away. So we should probably start looking into some of those. It looks like he got me in the head. It looks like he got me in the hand, and it looks like he got me in the leg. Okay, not great. We don't really have a whole lot of medical supplies on us. What does that do? Health replenishment, injury treatment, bleed resistance. Go ahead and use that real fast. We'll throw it on our hand. That'll make us regenerate a little bit faster. What does this guy do? It raises our thirst, and it makes us intoxicated, but it may cause us to berserk out. Gotcha. The boar pelt is actually pretty small and worth quite a bit of money. Not too bad. We're going to go ahead and eat some food real fast, just to sort of settle our stomach and feel a little bit better. I would prefer to cook some of this stuff, but like sometimes you're not quite where you want it to be in order to cook something. Hunger and morale. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's get a little bit of morale back from cooking that. That sword's kind of beat up. I don't know if I want to keep it. Chanterelle. Yeah, I'll eat you. Why not? Okay, so our pain is finally diminished. Hopefully we can regenerate a little bit on the road because I would like to push out. I'm going to get to the quest spot, and I'll let you know if anything wild and crazy happens. Okay, it would seem as though we've arrived. The good news is there was a lot of bandits and stuff to kill on the way, so I leveled up. That's really, really nice. So we get to put in some attribute points over here. It looks like we can get better block chance and more body point damage. We can get agility. That gives us counter chance and minus fumble chance. I don't know what our fumble chance actually is right now. You do have a fairly in-depth character sheet over here, though, that'll help you figure it out. Our accuracy's pretty good. Crit chance. Fumble chance is at like 18%. So that's for half damage whenever that goes off. Let's go ahead and we'll go for some agility just to like reduce that down a little bit. Although it didn't look like it reduced it by 1.5%. I saw the counter chance go up, but I didn't see that go down. So maybe it didn't give us the benefit we thought it was going to give. Where's this bandit lair at, dude? I'm ready. Let's put down some bandits, man. We got to let them know that they can't mess with the mercantile class. The bad news is I suffered a hand injury while I was on my way here, so I had to use my only medical supplies to fix it. Otherwise, we had to turn back. The good news is I got a battle axe that's worth like a fortune over here that I'm ready to take back home and sell. So that'll be nice. Let's take it very, very slow going into this bandit camp. Usually there's some form of guards on the outside. So there's our front door, maybe? That is indeed our front door. We do have a very nice little choke point right here. I would recommend that you cheese the AI as much as possible. They tend to put you in very difficult situations in this game. And being able to kind of like just stay in a spot and funnel them all through kind of like a centralized area is a really good idea. Let me heal back up real fast. Take a little rest. There we go. All right, who else is in here? We've got clubs and crowns. I'll take it. There's a guy right there. He's pretty far out, though, so I think we can get away with hitting him with a crossbow. Ooh, we missed the shot. That's not great. Ooh, double crit, though. Back-to-back critty boys. All right. Well, they are down. We seem to have made it. It looks like there's some loot over here. It looks like we've got silver cutlery. Yeah, that's worth a bunch of money. I'll take all their cash, too. Is there anything else around here that I can loot? It looks like I can get my bolts back. I should probably do that before we go any further. Doesn't look like anything else in the area is lootable, though. You know, I seem to recall there being bedrolls outside of, like, these lairs and stuff, but I guess that's not the case. Maybe not for this quest. If there's anything that I can cook, I highly recommend that we cook it right now because we're probably getting a little bit peckish. Yeah, we've got some stats to deal with. Fatty meat, it's going to lower my immunity, but it does help out with hunger, so I'll take it real fast. Hopefully the immunity gets better with time. You can get diseases and stuff in this game, so just kind of like keep that in mind. The fly agaric is good for getting rid of pain, actually, but it intoxicates us and makes us drunk and also makes us lose sanity and trip balls. So, you know, little good, little bad. let's head on into the dungeon. We got a job to do. Where's this merchant at? Let's see if we can find this guy. All right, so you can... Oh, I stepped on a boobity trap. Feels real bad. Getting gassed to death. Yeah, go ahead and rest for a minute. See if we can get the gas to disperse. Oh, we're intoxicated right now. That's not great. Okay, so apparently the gas made us a little bit drunk. That's what I get for not searching for traps. It's kind of my own fault. We'll go ahead and we'll eat the food real fast. We'll drink some water real quick. Because we just vomited. That's what happened, is we ended up throwing up all over ourselves because the gas made us sick and also made us drunk. So it looks like we've got lower healing efficiency right now. Our sanity is slipping. Our poison resistance is not looking so great. But all things considered, it could be worse. We'll take a minute and just see if we can kind of find anything around here. There's no reason for us to push forward into combat. If we can take a second and just kind of sober up. There's a big old clove of garlic right there. I'll take that. And what is that? Spirits? That's the last thing we need right now. We're already pretty trashed. It's only gone down 2% too, which is really kind of a bad thing. That booby trap basically bottomed us out right at the beginning. All right, we'll pick the lock. I'm gonna like take a minute and just make sure I'm scanning my surroundings. We've got a plate right there. I don't think the plateau is gonna be worth that much money, so I'm not gonna worry about using it. Cupboard's empty. Break that open real fast. Anybody else down here, dude? I'd really prefer not to fight anybody while I'm drunk. We're at 33% intoxication right now. So, like, on the plus side, we're not absolutely smashed, but we are a little buzzed right now. Spool of thread is a valuable. We'll take that. I do love all the little loot and knickknacks in this game that you pick up that you can sell to people. I think that's very, very immersive. I like it when games basically have, like, in an MMO or whatever, this would be called trash loot. But I do like the fact that you find little pieces of, like, gold and silver cutlery around. Like, it really kind of drives to that point that you're in, like, a medieval world where most people don't have access to this kind of stuff. And even something like a large spool of woolen thread is valuable to someone like the village tailor. And you can take that back to earn a little bit of scratch. In general, the trade items tend to take up a lot less space, too. Which can be really, really nice for maximizing the amount of value you take back to town with you. Was there a trap? Oh, yeah, there's a spike trap right there. Okay. Well, then let's kind of just stay away from that. You can use the traps on the enemies, so it can be really, really smart sometimes to retreat and put a trap in between you and the enemy. And they'll just, like, at least in the last build I played, they will stand on the trap and get spiked over and over and over again until they die, which is actually pretty sweet. I'm going to go ahead and pick this lock real fast. We got one bad guy right there. I'm going to swap over to my crossbow. We'll reload real fast. Give him a bolt. Give him another one. Our first ranged kill, actually. There's another guy coming to investigate. I actually don't know what the hotkey is to reload my crossbow when there's no enemies on screen. I'm actually not sure if you can reload when there's, like, can I fire that at him from, like, right here? Oh, but stuff got in the way. Okay. That's fine. We'll move over to here. Get all set up for this bandito over here. Actually, I don't think he knows where I am. Oh, a 42 right there. Don't you just love it? Down goes another bandit. I'm going to take my bolts back, please. We've got a enchantment scroll. This will enchant an item, giving it a bonus. And we've got another spool of thread. I would probably take something that we're planning on wearing for a while, like our cloak, and enchant it. Yeah, so our energy restoration went up by 3%. This is actually one of the endgame activities. I can remember when I played an earlier version of the early access, I would spend all my money on enchantment scrolls once I had, like, the best gear in the game, and I just kept putting enchantments on stuff until it rolled things that I wanted. Sort of like a Diablo-esque feeling to it, I guess, where you're, like, playing around trying to get the affixes that you want. There's a booby trap right there. There's another bandit on that side. Go ahead and take out my crossbow. Reload it real fast. Give him a shot. Ow. I think I will kill you, bro. I think I will. It's not like one of those things that's highly... Oh, he's got a Godin dog. That's a pretty valuable piece of equipment right there. I'm going to chuck that, and I'm going to keep the Godin dog because that's got 300 value. We take that back to town. It's in reasonably decent repair, and I think we can get paid for it. We got an apple right there. We're thirsty again. Yeah, we're pretty thirsty right now. Drink some water real quick just to take the edge off of it. We got some hunger going on. Probably eat the cheese just to give myself a little bit of like a hunger resistance. Break that open. Something in the nightstand. Oh, good, a bandage. Sweet. All right, that means I can negate bleeds, so that'll be good. Oh, there's a water barrel right there. Can I fill up my water skin from it? Nice. If there's anything I can cook. Nope, nothing I can cook. I was hoping maybe I could like roast the garlic or something. So as you can see, the overworld doesn't have a whole lot going on it unless you find like a specialized camp or spot. But once you get to these dungeons, it's basically like a loot smorgasborg. Check for traps real fast. A little bit of free money right there. Definitely take that. No traps around. A little bit more money to be had. Bookcase. Bookcase. Nothing inside the bookcases. As it turns out, bandits not big fans of reading. Not big fans of the literary arts. Okay. A little bit more. Oh, I thought maybe control click would take it into my inventory. It did not. I was wrong. Nothing in the nightstand. Is that going to be booby-trapped? There we go. All right, so we've got some crowns right there. Definitely take that. We've got a silver ring that gives us higher healing efficiency, so I'm going to swap that out for the copper ring that I have. It also gives us what looks like a little bit more health restorative, so that's nice. We've got an antidote over here that'll allow us to come down from being drunk. It looks like our drunkenness, though, is already down to 12%, so we're not even taking a negative anymore, so I think we'll be all right. And we've been given a state of optimism, so based on your mood and your morale, your character will randomly get buffs or debuffs as you go through. They'll become depressed, or right now I'm in a state of optimism, for example, so I'm getting all these bonuses because I've kept my morale high. It looks like, actually, morale's taking a little bit of a dippy-do right now. We're going to have to figure out a way around that, but such is life. Maybe we'll go back to town and drink a lot. Doesn't look like liquor actually helps out with your morale. Okay. Definitely eat that guy right there to take the intoxication down a little bit further. Oh, hey, there's a guy with a pitchfork. I'm just going to kind of hold my position, I guess, so that I get my little block buff. I would like it if the block buff that I got from my spear showed up here. Oh, yeah, I've got another skill point to spend, too, huh? I should probably do something with that. I don't know if I want to go with, like, the ranged or if I want to push the spear out. We can get a 2-tile attack with our spear, or we can get precise hits. But precise hits require us to have people immobilized. And this one right here, I think, immobilizes... Well, one of these immobilizes them. Delivers a strike to the legs with a crit chance. If the target is adjacent, it gets 22% damage and a knockback chance. And if the target is a tile away, the strike gets body part damage and a mobilization chance. Yeah, let's take that. That sounds good. Where was the trap at? Oh, there it is right there. I see it. Okay. Traps are very, very deadly, as we found out when we first got into the dungeon. But yeah, this is Stoneshard. There's a decent bit of content in here, especially if you choose to play through as a ranged character, a melee character, and a caster character. There's probably a good 40, 50 hours of gameplay in here that you can tool around with. Some people have reported getting up to like... Some people have reported getting like 150 hours out of the game. I have been kind of saving it for later. Oh, it's a magic Godin dog. Hold on. Throw that on the ground real fast. So we've got to identify this. But if we identify it, this could turn out to actually be a really good grab. But yeah, my name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we had Stoneshard, which I think is a really, really cool game. Just be aware that the development has been quite slow for the game. And so anyways, it can be one of those situations where you may be signing up for a very, very long wait with this one. I'll see y'all later. Thank you for stopping on in. I'll have something hot fresh for you off the Indie Skillet tomorrow. But for now, that's all I got. Bye-bye, everybody.